Hey, this is Mary Houseman, and I'm interviewing Sophia Martin. Her maiden name was,
Dihilian,
and she's from,
Romania,
and where in Romania?
Arad.
Arad. Now, is Romania still a communistic country?
No, ma'am.
No. Was it when you were young?
Yes.
Okay. Her husband is also Romanian. They, I think, does your culture try to still intermingle marriages with Romanians and Romanians?
We try. If not, we got to go for the crazy Americans.
Woo! Well, anyway, that is great. Her husband's family also escaped from Romania when it was communistic and very dangerous to try to get across. Her family, tell us about your family.
We came in 77 and Sam's family came in 80.
And as far as how you came to America, tell us about that.
We were sponsored. I had an aunt and an uncle that lived here for quite a while before they sponsored us and my family with 15 siblings, my mom, my dad, and my grandma.
Now, what is the sponsoring? Is that...
They had sponsoring is you got to do all this paperwork to make sure that you provide for somebody. You guarantee that you provide for them for at least 3 months.
Oh my goodness!
Till they get on their feet. You got to feed them, clothe them, give them a place to live, help them any way they need day to day, food, everything.
And they were already here in the United States.
Yes.
How did they get over here? Did they?
Before that, they had a distant. Relative kind of friend, and that acquaintance, not really close, but happened to just say, hey, I'd like to come and visit, and then they decided to move here. So
that's awesome.
That's how it happened.
So that's how it happened. And then were y'all all in anticipation, or did y'all even know that you'd have the opportunity to come here?
No, my parents, we had a pretty good life there. So my parents, even though we had a lot of children, we had a beautiful big home, everything that we can want, but hey, who doesn't want the American dream, right?
That's right.
So my aunt and uncle would come and tell us all these stories, and of course we'd get all excited, all the little kids crowding around every time they'd come home. And anyway, so that's where it started, and my parents said, let's give it a try. What can we lose?
Very good. That is right. I mean, you've got to be able to take that walk to the end of the limb and sometimes jump. Well, go ahead and show us some pictures of your family and describe who's in the pictures.
Well,
Romanian families are usually quite large.
Not all of them, but ours Christian families.
Christian families.
The majority, the religion there is Orthodox.
Mainly,
Roman Orthodox. But we came with our family. The first picture I'm going to show you is a picture of all my brothers and sisters. There's 15 of us. So that's the first picture I'm going to show you. And this is us in Romania before we came here.
That's just incredible.
That's it right there.
I see y'all. My goodness. And I know some of those people right there.
Yeah, some of them.
I do, yes.
The next one is going to be one right before we came with my grandma, my mom, and my dad.
Oh my goodness.
And
I love technology.
And it's most of them, I believe my oldest brother was not in here because he was already married. So, but that's a picture with my mom, my dad, and my grandma.
The tradition came on over because I see the same type dress here with going to y'all's church and all. And the families, over the years haven't really changed too much.
Okay. And then, of course, I'm the cutie pie right here.
Oh,
that was me when I
yes.
came to the United States, 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah, I still had a gap in my teeth just like now.
What was your expectation of coming? What were you? Were you afraid?
I don't think so. At 8 years old, I don't think you're afraid. It's different. It was different.
How long did it take y'all to travel here?
Girl, I don't know, 8 years old. Do you remember how long?
I mean, was it a day and a night and day?
Well, we left from Arad. I knew we had a couple vans that picked us up, first of all. It's a lot of people. We drove to Bucharest. That's where we flew from Bucharest to New York. You had to come through New York at that time. That was the port entry. I think there was 2 port entries. We had to go to the New York. Do fingerprints. Green card was done on the spot.
Oh, I see.
So all that was taken care of. From there, we flew to Chicago. because that's where my aunt and uncle lived, so that's what it was. And then this was, I don't know how long, but not too long after we moved, and in Chicago.
And that's your whole family right there.
Well, without the parents. These are my siblings.
Parents. That's your siblings. But that's when everybody got here.
Yes.
Is your brother that wasn't in the other picture in this picture?
No. My oldest brother was married. Well, the rules were like this. When, I think, once you hit 21,
yes,
you were considered, I guess, an adult, where you had to travel on your own. You had to make your own decisions and all that. So they couldn't come with us. They were approved to come, but they had to wait, I think it was like 3 months.
I see.
And then they came. And then my oldest brother that was married had to do his own paperwork, and they eventually came too.
I see. Okay. Well, as far as all that went, once you got here, was it what you expected?
I guess from all the stories, yes.
Yes.
We knew about all the stories and everything, and they made it so nice for us. They did rent out 2 apartments, because for a lot of people you need a lot of beds, so they rented 2 apartments, of course, 2 refrigerators in each, and all that good stuff.
Oh my
had
goodness!
To be fed, so anyway,
yes.
School was different. We didn't speak a lick
of English.
No.
Right, and the only word I know that's in Romanian is da, which means yes. That's it. That's all I know. I don't even know what no is. It's just no.
No.
I mean, it seems...
It's not no, it's new.
No. New? As in like...
And you.
And you, new.
No.
Well, there you go. I've learned something
Da.
new. So there you go. As far as your husband and you, tell us how y'all met. I met your husband. Let me explain how I met your husband in this interview. I was in the automotive business, had been in it for several years, and it was probably 20-something years ago I met him for the first time. Y'all owned a body shop, still do, and he came in and bought parts from me and everything. And every dealership I worked for, he was one of my customers. Very friendly, very easygoing, crazy, just a wonderful person to get to know. And we had total understanding. It was just amazing. Then my time of meeting you was about 10 years ago, and then I had the opportunity to live in one of y'all's houses and work. And at that time I was working at a cash store, and y'all would come in and pay your bills. And it was just really neat how when I met y'all, I loved y'all, you and your children, as much as your husband, because y'all were like a family that I didn't have, because I didn't have anybody here besides my son. And y'all took me in as family, and I've always felt very honored to be part of it. I hear you. Oh, y'all have done a very excellent job, though, being friends. I tell you, you've taught me so much. And the ambition and the goal setting and the saving of money, that's probably one of the biggest things I respect y'all about. Now tell me how, once your family got here, how did y'all get housing and stuff as a family, as a unit?
Well, at first, like I said, my aunt and uncle, had this obligation, but my parents, of course, would not take it. We came with money. We sold our home over there, and we had acreage and all that like anybody else. We lived kind of on the outskirts of the city, sort of right between the city and the country. So we had the best of both worlds.
Oh, wow.
We were close to everything, yet big enough to where we can have our own animals to slaughter and eat and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So when we sold that for very little money, because my parents wanted to do something good for somebody else, so we wanted enough money just to help us to get here, but enough to let this poor family just have it and make that their home after that.
Oh, wow.
Which I did not know at first. Of course, when you're 8, you don't know all these little details. But I found out later, so then that's when I truly understood, because after that is when my parents helped a lot of people come here and sponsor, at least I want to say, as individuals, I don't know, but at least I want to say 300 to 400 individuals.
Oh,
now,
my goodness.
I know there was one family that had 18 people. That was one family. Then there were some that were single. There were some that were a family of 5. bigger family, small family. So throughout the years, that's what my family did. Once we got here, got our own place, and because what we do, this is what our culture was. I mean, and what my family kind of did. I don't know that everybody else did that. Is when we came here, of course I was too young to work. We had to go to school if you were school age, and if you worked, but you handed over your check every week. They put the money together. They had an understanding. We're gonna put it like in a bucket, and yes, you're gonna take a little bit of money, enough to get you through the week. You bring your own lunch to save money and do all that. Not like now, we go out to eat every time and this and that. And you got enough money, to spend, to get to work, to get back. Well, we rented, after the 3 months, of course, we paid my aunt and uncle back, is what I know. Every dime that they spent getting us here, my parents wanted to pay their own way. They never wanted to sit on a corner and beg. We were not that kind of a family.
No.
So anyway, then I think we rented another 6 months, I want to say. By the time we were in the States for 1 year, my family already put a down payment on a 4-apartment building, and we were moved into the 2 bottom floors, and the basement was ours. And I remember them saying, we're going to rent the 2 upstairs to help us with the mortgage.
Wow.
So that's how, and of course, then as the older ones grew and found their significant other, they got married. A present from my parents to them was, by this time we bought more apartment buildings and all that. You stay for 1 year rent free.
Wow. Where was this?
Chicago.
In Chicago. So
in Southside
y'all
Chicago.
stayed in Chicago for
Yes.
several years, apparently.
Yes, I grew up in Chicago. So from 77 to 90, I was in Chicago.
I lived in Indianapolis, and I must say, I
Mhm.
loved going to Chicago.
Yeah.
People watching was just amazing. It was back in the punk time when they had,
Yeah.
the hair and the color
Everything.
and everything.
So,
Absolutely interesting.
So as we, the older ones got married, they all had their thing. Of course, then my parents also tried to help them, put a down payment on a little home for each one of them, whatever they could at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, they, the older ones always gave in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when their time came, my parents tried to help each one.
That's awesome.
So
now go ahead and speak of how you and your husband met.
Oh, of course, tradition again.
A tradition, I love it.
U.S. and Canada has a Romanian Pentecostal convention every year around Labor Day.
Yes, I know.
So all the Romanians from Canada and U.S. get together, in a different state every year. So we know from, like, this year, it's going to be in Houston, actually.
Oh, cool.
So,
close to home.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going, but anyway.
Well, you should.
When you were
Maybe
younger.
you can take me just so.
Yeah, so you can meet some Romanians.
Can I go?
You can definitely go. Anybody can go.
Wow, then you'll have
you
to.
Might need a translator. Girl, I'm not going to translate.
Come on, yeah, you
But
will.
and I think back then it was, hey, I get to meet other people from different states. It was something fun. And back then, that's what people did, meet different people. Like, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. I've never met you. But anyway, so that's how Sam and I met in California. He was from Texas.
Uh-huh.
I was from Chicago. We met in California.
Oh, my goodness.
What the heck were we doing? I don't know. But, 3 years later, here we go.
Y'all got
But
married.
anyway,
Wow.
yeah. So anyway, we met that way. And my big old mouth said, well, if you're ever coming, which I never... It's just something nice you tell people. If you ever stop in Chicago, here's my number. And his sister's like, okay, I'm gonna write this down. I'm like, and I heard
Which sister?
Lydia.
Oh my goodness.
I heard it took her about 2 weeks to find that little pamphlet. She knew she wrote the number down. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, I know his family too, and they are hilarious and great people also.
So that's what happened. He came, and then we started talking long distance and all that, and then he came and lived in Chicago for about 8 months, got to see my family, got to meet him, worked there for a while, and then I came to meet his family, got engaged, and before you knew it, we got married, and boom. Now I have a family of my own, and the most recent picture right here is just happened a couple of weeks ago. graduation of my youngest son
Oh,
from
yes.
Baylor, and that's where we're all
my
at right
goodness.
there.
It switched over to a wedding, I think.
No, it switched over to Sam calling me with the picture of our son's wedding.
Her
Okay.
husband's calling us.
Okay.
Ah.
So anyway, we'll decline that for
Yes,
now, and
for
then
right
I'll have to
now.
explain, right?
Exactly. Well, let me hear about how the church went from Orthodox, and then when you came here, it's Pentecostal.
Well, we were never Orthodox.
Oh,
My
okay.
parents became Christians before. When they got married, they decided they're going to become Christians together.
Hi, Smokey.
So that's how it started. We were always Pentecostal, even in Romania. And that's how we came here, and we went to a Pentecostal church in Chicago. That's where I grew up for a lot of years, till I was 21. Then I got married and moved here, and then we went to a Romanian Pentecostal church here. So,
well, I tell you,
how-
the entire family is very devout to the church. They impress me because of the American culture. I think a lot of people don't have time for religion anymore or something. I'm not sure what the thing is. What's your viewpoint on Americans and church?
I don't know. I mean, there's people that go to church that are Romanian, people that are American that go to church. So I don't know why some go more than others, because it's all, some Romanians don't go to church.
Yeah, that's true.
And, just like anywhere else. So I don't know. I can't really speak to that. Now, we went, my family and I, there for about 3 years when I was younger. I remember we had lived about an hour and a half away from church, so it was hard for us to get to church at first. So we did go to the American church, and that's where we picked up a lot of the English too. So we did, through the week we did, and on Sundays we'd have 2 or 3 vans come and pick us up to take us till we got on our feet. So that's where some of our English came. And
well, I am
like
curious about your education as far as how different is it in America than it was over there in Romania?
Well, everybody says it's a piece of cake. What are these people learning here? I mean, I hear a lot of course, I only went to first grade,
right?
Because I just turned 8. So, depends when your birthday fell and all that. So I only did first grade, and I came back here and I had to start all over again because not speaking English. But of course, then within a couple of years, I was where I should be and all that. But they said, it was a lot easier here, except for the language. Now, it took us a while.
Wow. So did y'all have translators that sat there with you? And
no, at that time, there were not a lot of Romanians in Chicago. We came when a lot of the first, we would say, in the 70s. So there were some, but, that didn't mean they were in our school. I think there were 3 or 4 other families that were in our school that were, and we're talking about big schools. We're not talking about little bitty schools. Sure. Like in Axtell, or my kids go, 150 people in the whole school, but no. So, you went to school, you look at pictures, you start with 3 little pigs, you translated.
Oh my goodness.
Everything. Like that.
Just the
and then my brother, I have a brother that's 3 years older than me. He figured, he found a friend and he wanted to give him something. So he had 2, I think it was candy or something. And he goes, well, he knew Mina is me. So he goes, well, if Mina is me, you, Tia, T. One for me, one for T. So the guy, he's like, what are you trying to say? He goes, one for me, one for T. Meaning, one for me, one for you.
I see.
So that's how he became friend, because he wanted to make a friend. So he's like, one for me, one for you. But anyway, so that's
so even without the translation, I mean, with it being different, it still was communication, cultural intercommunication. That was easy and flowed from there on.
So you had no choice but to learn it. If you wanted to eat, if you wanted to. I remember my mom telling me stories that this lady wanted a chicken at the store, didn't know how to ask for a chicken, so she's doing she got her chicken.
That's right.
I went home and cooked for her family.
Well, as far as the schooling, did y'all go to college or did y'all go to trade schools?
They went to trade schools, some college, and of course, since everybody came here, it was more important at that time to go to work and make money, just so we can get on our feet, so we can have somewhere. You come to a different country with a suitcase. Yeah. So it was more of working at first, and of course, as we grew up, the younger generation, we went to school. Did some college, never graduated like our kids do these days, but
yes, all your
we did
kids
some,
are
but,
college graduates.
so-
Yeah, working on college. My son too. It's just amazing how different the times have come since we
Yeah.
were children. So I mean, if there's anybody who's living the American dream, y'all are some of the people I know that definitely are living the American
Well,
dream.
We try, we work hard,
Yeah.
do the best we can.
Now, do people still get sponsored to come to America?
Or they
yeah?
win this lottery.
Oh,
and
there's
they-
a lottery.
Yeah, there's a lottery. You throw your name in there, and then they give you a visa for 10 years.
Oh
So,
my goodness, a 10-year visa.
Yeah, 10-year visa if you win the lottery. So, hey, who plays lottery?
Everybody, just
There you go.
about. That is so cool. Now, as far as your cultural background, do you feel you've impressed that upon other people? I know you did on me, as far as y'all's warmth and the standards and the traditions of the families. We spent a lot of time together as far as holidays, birthdays. Did y'all have all of those over in Romania
Yeah, of course.
too?
That was everywhere. You know, it was just probably celebrated differently. Like for your guy's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
you expect people to give you presents, right?
Right.
I pay for a big dinner for everybody else, so, and a lot of us, you know, you buy presents for your guests instead.
I see.
So, when are you gonna throw one of those?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do that. When I meet my
Well,
Romanian man, when
there
we
you
go to
go.
Houston,
There
that's
you go.
that's when I'll learn to do that. I'll
There
pick
you
up more of the culture. I like that.
There
That's
you go.
I think giving is wonderful,
Yeah.
and I think giving back and paying it forward is the proper thing to do. I just think y'all's country has an edge on us.
And it's not everybody. That
No.
was just some people did it. I liked that, and I always thought it was
I
something
think that is-
I liked to do.
Awesome.
Don't ask my kids when they have to pay for their own way. It's like, do we have to?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yes, I've been to.
Now, when they were young, you know, you buy them presents and all that. You have to. Your
I've been
kids.
to showers and weddings and receptions and engagement
Yeah, I
parties.
showered
and
with
all
other
of those.
Romanians,
Yeah. And it's been a blast, I tell you. I was married in the Czechoslovakian culture. My son's father was Czechoslovakian. He passed away. But as far as there's birth, and then there's life, and then there's death, how do y'all treat y'all seniors over from Romania when y'all were in Romania, like your grandparents?
Well,
and all?
how do we treat them?
Well,
we
did you
definitely
take-
didn't have nursing homes. Let's put it that way.
Y'all did not have nursing
No,
homes.
they took care of us.
We-
In our time, we got to take care of
Care of
them.
them.
To this day, we believe the same.
That's the way
Now,
my
who knows what's going to
family was.
happen to me? I don't want to think about it. But at least if they would put me in a nice nursing home after they kicked me out of my home.
Right.
Anyway,
Well, as far as dating and all, now you have children, and
well, let's put it this way. If you were a Pentecostal
Mhm.
and lived in my family, you
Mhm.
had to be ready to get married. If you wanted to get married, you were allowed to start, per se, dating.
Mhm.
A group dating. We're not talking about you can go-
Individuals
Of course, we
going-
snuck around
Oh,
like everybody
yeah.
else. I hope my kids didn't hear that, no. But anyway,
Hey, Bob.
but that's about it. You were, you know, like each year we did try to keep into dating people from our church,
Mhm.
and church for us meant, you know, Sunday to Sunday. Now you go to church on Sunday, and woo, I go to
Give
church.
it up on.
We were involved in church on Monday night for children's choir, on Tuesday night prayer night, on Wednesday night it could have been, you know, orchestra practice. On Thursday night it was a regular service. Our services were Thursday, not Wednesdays. Friday night it was youth night.
Mhm.
Then, I mean, we didn't go out and party. We went to church and we praised God and do all that. And, you know, in the sense of partying, that's what we did. That's our, and we were just fine with it. And Saturday was church again, and Sunday morning and Sunday night was
That's
church
nice.
again. And church for us meant 9 to 12 on Sunday morning. And our family showed up at 8:30 just to make sure we're there on time.
Wow.
I said, thanks a lot, Dad.
Yeah. Oh
Anyway.
my goodness! And y'all have kept
We
up
were-
most of those traditions.
We were punctual.
even now.
Yeah, I don't know
I
about
mean,
now, but
well,
if I
you
can
know.
wake up my kids on time. Yeah.
Well, they're all on their own now. They're
Yeah.
adults. But as far as divorce, how did y'all take care of that over there? like America. It just
we
seems
we
like
didn't do there. I mean, there's divorce everywhere.
sure, sure, of course.
There's not too many people that I know that I went to church with, grew up with, and all that. Especially not until, let's say, the last 15, 20 years. I was shocked if I heard somebody got divorced.
Yes.
Till about 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
Now it happens more now, just like everything changes and all that. But it was not, I mean, you stuck through it for better or for worse. So here I am still after many.
Man, it's been a while that y'all have been married, I tell you. But y'all are probably some of the happiest people I've ever known, and so tolerant of each other and all. I think the things I've gained is knowing how y'all actually take care of the seniors, and to this day, because I too came from a family that did that, but not knowing how the culture of your country, not having a rest home is absolutely not heard of here in the United States. And so many people are so busy and have made family such a lower priority. Of course, with me, it's God, your family, and then yourself.
But of course, now they do have nursing homes in Romania.
Okay.
I mean, they're not widely known like here.
No.
But because a lot of the families did move out of the country after communism and all that, a lot of things changed. Some of the young people lost their jobs, didn't have to, so they're out of the country working, coming back. So kind of the old people were kind of.
So people are going back home.
Yes,
from what I've read on the internet.
Oh yeah,
and everything.
I have. My brother went back to live there.
Wow.
After he retired, he went about 5 years ago back to live there. My brother-in-law went back to live there. They built their homes. They moved back there. I have a niece, Daniela's daughter, is getting married. She's going to live there. She already moved there.
I tell you, it's the most beautiful country I've ever seen. Now, as far as our lifestyles here in America, is it a clean country? I mean, it looks like it. Do y'all preserve the nature? How is it compared, like climate control and?
Girl, don't ask me about all that. I don't know. All I know is people over there. Look at us. If I were to go in, say, in a pair of sweatpants like I am now in a t-shirt, said, "Are you going to go change? Because we're going to go to the grocery store." I said, "No, I'm fine. I'm clean." They're like really dress up. They're kind of, I don't know. I want to kind of say snotty in a way because I'm here. That's what I would see. Because to this day, if I were to go back, I think it'd be fine to step outside and go to the store. But to them, it won't. And I've heard that from different people. So they always like to look nice. They might not have a lot of meals with meat in them because it's more expensive. They might have leaner, meats, less meat dishes, I would say, but they gotta look good.
Well, I tell you,
and their homes gotta look good. Now, you will never step in somebody's house and not be asked to sit down and eat with them. That's one for.
Well, I know that's a fact because that's what these people do. They feed me every time I go anywhere. I love it. And it's delicious. I was going to say, their meat may be lean, but their desserts are absolutely scrumptious. The best pastries and stuff. And that's the tradition around here, at Christmas. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing thing to see how. Do you think our American culture has influenced y'all? Other than clothes and stuff, are we more laxed than your country?
You guys are definitely more relaxed. And I guess when you're not working, you're not working. I mean, and don't get me wrong, because what I hear about some people that came here is like, okay, what do you guys do? You guys come here and work day till night. When do you guys stop? Like, I hear there, you finish work at 4 or 5. And then you meet with your neighbors in the corner for a cigarette and a drink every night, and it's all the time, But in a sense of, I don't know that they're relaxed in one way, but at the same time they're double or triple as stressed because they feel like they need to more and more for what, I don't know, because they're not going to take it with them when they go, but. We feel like we always have to work, and look at me, I'm talking, we always have to work, but anyway.
Yes, 24/7.
Yeah.
Well, Sophia, I am so happy that we had this moment. I really did learn more things. It's just incredible to have such a wonderful America, that we have the right to have as many cultures that can be here. I would like to see intercultural communication be a greater thing, and through the media and through technology, it has increased. I want to again thank you for doing this with me.
No problem.
This was for my intercultural class, and I will be hanging out with this wonderful lady, and we will be doing a lot more things. And if I get to go to that, what did you call it in Houston?
Convention.
The convention, the Romanian
Pentecostal convention. The U.S. and Canada Romanian Pentecostal convention, yearly convention.
If I get to go do that, I will definitely be reporting on that one too, because I have had such a blessed time going to the church with them, and their preacher, absolutely wonderful man, and everybody's Romanian over there, so it's been really fun and very, very wonderful. So I love you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And we will continue this later.
Ciao.
Ciao, baby.